ever be, yeah.
Okay, let's see if this is broadcasting.
And it's broadcasting. Give us a drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the EAST Corp Breakroom podcast. Dramatic music.
No, we gotta be careful with the dramatic music, because otherwise they put a copyright strike on our channel.
Oh god, yes. I mean, they have already put a copyright thing on on the extract from Terminal Secrets.
Yeah.
Which is really, really weird. So, in the new episode of Terminal Secrets, there's this one section where a character monologues for like 15 minutes, and there's this jazz track playing in the background. And apparently there's a copyright on one of the songs Kelly used, but for some reason the copyright is only being brought up in the extract version that we did and not in the full version. So
Really?
I'm not quite sure what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the 15-minute extract, yeah, we've been demonetized for that. The full episode, which has the exact same clip and music playing, full monetization. They didn't even fucking notice.
Yeah,
Not quite sure how that works.
Probably good that their robot is too stupid to be able to tell the difference.
Which is weird because
the
they shouldn't be taking away. They shouldn't be hitting us with it because the tracks that we pulled were all from our Frederator contract on the app, so they were all our. We have full license rights to all of them.
Oh, is that where that comes from? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, dude, the Frederator, getting shit from Frederator is amazing.
You got to send me the link to that library. I still never looked at that.
I will send you the link to the library because I mean it's something like 30,000 full songs and sound effects. And the songs go across genres. Some are done specifically for introductions to shows. Some are done for closings. There are trailer songs. So like what we used in the Terminal Secrets 4 trailer, I pulled one of those songs from the Frederator. The other one I pulled from Miracle of Sound because that man is my fucking soul guide. I love that. I fucking love that channel. Oh. We need to introduce our guest for tonight. So, of course, I'm here. I'm James Vermont. We have Mr. Skyboat here with us as well. And we have Daniel Featherscratch Mohan, one of the writers for Terminal Secrets Episode 4, and Miss Wendy Smarthorse Crescent.
Hey!
One Smarthorse counter.
Hey there.
God damn it.
And Wendy is a patron and one of the writers on our upcoming series, Untypical. So it's actually we're kind of doing a patron podcast like we should be, but we're also kind of doing one with EAST Corp staff exclusively.
I thought you were going with contractor for me.
You are a contractor, but I mean, that's why I said technically. Technically.
Oh, I'm a technicality now.
Yeah, you're a technicality. That's exactly what you are.
This is not coming to bite you in the ass at all.
Ooh, kinky. Let's start with that.
God damn it, Vermont.
Vermont is riding very, very high off of the energy of having to move house. That's what I've been doing since Thursday. Which is a pain that Skybolt knows very well from his recent move.
Oh yeah, that was a long time.
We've managed to get everything into the house itself, but we now have to unpack all of our things, which is taking a long time because none of us wants to do it.
Yeah.
This is why Scratchy cleverly owns nothing.
Yeah, tactical poverty is a play to make.
Oh, okay. Tactical poverty is a thing.
I still have like 5 boxes I haven't unpacked yet from moving back from my student apartment to my actual to my parents' house.
No, I've got about 10 maybe boxes I still haven't even remotely touched. Most of them will end up back in the garage anyway in one form or another, so it's like I just haven't felt the need.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
kind of need to throw them onto the attic actually because they're all filled with books.
It was kind of funny that more than once during the packing process, I ran into boxes from when I moved into that house that I had never unpacked. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, this is packed already. Let me just move it into the car or into the trailer. Made for quite a helpful scenario. So, ladies and gentlemen, we released a small, teeny, tiny little thing earlier this week called Terminal Secrets Episode 4 Tint Mint, and it is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Woo!
Yay!
I do not disagree.
We were really hoping that Kelly would be here to talk about his sound mixing. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, some of you might be wondering why we are podcasting 2 hours earlier than we normally do.
1 hour.
It's because we wanted to. We wanted to. Oh, yeah. So, it is a time. It is a point in space time that is earlier than normal. That may or may not be an hour, or may not be 2 hours. I'm not sure.
It's an hour.
Might be lying.
We don't shift daylight savings time for like another month. Chill your tits.
Yeah, it's fair. Anyway, and
I just got back from Arizona where they don't deal with this bullshit.
See, we don't have daylight savings time in South Africa. It took me forever to find out that was just that was even a thing.
The worst part of it is the fact that every country shifts at a different time. That really is what's killer. I remember when I was working with L Train on the Fall of an Empire, like when the fall and spring riding time, not only did they shift at different times, but Australia has some weird time zones too, where some of them are half. So it's like he shifted at a different time, and it was by a half-hour gradient instead of 1 hour, and just everything was all fucked.
So we are now podcasting a little bit earlier for this week, with the purpose being to make things easier on some of our British friends, aka Mr. James Kelly, and of course the lovely Oakheart.
Neither of whom showed up anyway. This is killing me.
Yeah,
I miss them both so much. It feels like we don't even talk to them anymore.
They arrive, they work, they sort of just watch us silently from the background. It's rather it's
like we have a lot to talk about too. Kelly's been working on something else in secret with me, and it's like, damn it.
Because it's coming to Skybolt's favorite time of the year.
Yes, Fallout Day song season.
Which, also, speaking of Fallout and Fallout Day, does everyone know what yesterday was? We should have had a friggin'... Yesterday was the 20th anniversary of Fallout.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It was either 20th or 30th. I actually can't remember.
20th?
I'm pretty sure
it was not 30th.
20th.
Well, it might be 30th if you count the Wasteland games, but I don't know when those came out.
Nah, not counting Wasteland. So yeah, definitely 20th. So one of the most influential role-playing games of all time has turned 20 as of yesterday. That's fucking insane, though. I got the date wrong. I thought it was on the 20th of September that it would happen. So in the in our Minutemen EAST Corp Discord chat, I was being all like, "Hey, it's Fallout's birthday today," and no one said anything. And then we actually got, and I looked it up. Oh, fuck! I just made an ass of myself.
Yes, I did get a chuckle out of that, by the way.
That's why I like just commemorating the in-game Great War Day, because everyone knows that date.
Yeah.
Everyone knows October 23rd. This is a very big and special month for us at EAST Corp because on Fallout Day last year, I was looking this up. On Fallout Day last year, Skybolt and I and a couple of other people, there was a big podcast. We did the very last episode of the Stable Talk podcast.
Oh, that was a good podcast.
Which was entitled 100% Salt. because for it was they kind of got to the point where Skybolt and I were so unbelievably pissed off at Stable Tech that we stopped hiding how we were feeling in the podcast.
Yeah,
and it was just this multi-hour rant.
It was like ROC breaking point, essentially.
Yeah, it was kind of essentially the
or
end
Owens
of that
Lake
podcast.
if you're in California.
But essentially, the end of that podcast came. We turned off the recording and turned to Skype. Do you want to leave? Let's leave.
Yeah, that was essentially when all the wheels started, and I think officially we're sort of commemorating the anniversary with the first video upload, which is I think the 29th. But it's like the entire last week after Fallout Day was essentially the birth of this studio.
So our birthday is coming up, which that's very exciting.
Our first year anniversary. Oh my god. Can you believe all the shit we've done in this last year, though? This has been like, I mean, I don't think it takes much to explain to people that we were the prime movers in the studio.
It was, and we've done over 100 videos. We've done over 100 videos, 1.4 thousand subscribers, and total of 55,000 views. Not bad for a year's work, if I do say so myself.
I was so great seeing like Wasteland Survival Guide take flight, and heck, we got 2 of arguably our most successful episodes of Terminal Secrets and Confessions released.
Right, because if we go to most popular, it's still the Ranger and Hunger are our. Although frickin' the Iceman is catching up. It's at number 4 now. It just overtook Dope.
I still don't know how they count their view tracking, because that's a 4.5-hour video, so it must be some kind of like I don't even know.
I think it's a percentage. Oh, I just got a message from James Kelly saying that he's just finished his dinner and he will be joining us for the podcast.
Oh, thank God. Come on, Kelly. I miss you, man. We have so much to talk about. No, legitimately, and like when I was at work listening through Terminal Secrets 4 for the first time, I'm like, holy hell, this is like really good soundscaping. Like a Mint Cream walking out in the wasteland, the armor, all the joint sounds, and the background like soundscaping is just like, it was really good. What the hell? What are you doing out there? Get in the podcast. How do we add him to this?
I think he's already in the group.
Kelly, you are in the group.
I've added him to the group. He's in the group. So hopefully,
there we go. I think I've just added.
Oh my God!
There he is.
Yeah.
We're just talking about how amazing your Terminal Secrets work was.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
How good I am.
Yeah, that was because friggin' because the audio editing on Terminal Secrets has slowly been getting better and better over time, because we had the first episode, which I did entirely myself, which was shite.
No, it was meta. It gives you a headache because of the story. It was intentional.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, it
Let's
was
keep it at that.
And then Kelly joined, and you slowly see it sort of getting better. Episode 2 was a collaborative effort between him, me, and Skyballs, and then 3 he just took over.
Yeah, and messily did it. I mean, it's like my Terminal Secrets projects have like 100 channels, just because I don't like having things on like one channel. I'll give an example, an anecdote. So I did, unfortunately, work with Michael Hall to do.
Go on.
So you know his Fallout Equestria audiobook. So he was like, "Oh yeah, can you help me out on doing it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And there was like 10 minutes to go or whatever. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And he's using Reaper, and then he was like, he couldn't export the audio, so he's like, "Okay, just here's the entire project." Forced me to use Reaper, which I don't know how to use, and he only used like 8 channels. So like all the dialogue was on like one channel, and all the mixing was done like with gain, and it was just really messy.
Oh my gosh!
And it was pretty disgusting. And yeah, so I do it as like 100 audio files. If you got a new sound effect, you add it in, then you can mix it to your heart's content, no automation and all that shit. And it's just like, yeah. And also, actually, just to rant, because this is what this is all about. If you listen to it right, at the end, it just cuts off halfway through a word, and then it's like 2 minutes of silence with the video still going. And in the comments, people went, "Why does it cut off?" And he went, "No, it doesn't." And I'm like,
"Oh my gosh!"
And I was like, "Yeah, but it does. It clearly does." And I checked my audio, and he missed the footnote. He just cut it halfway through, like the end of like the last word of the chapter, and then missed the footnote, and then went, "Yeah, no, it's on purpose or whatever," or "No, I didn't." And it's just like, oh
God.
I seriously, I can't. I know. Yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm sorry. It was just so painful to work for him. So painful.
Oh God. So, I learned. I learned a very important lesson over the last 2 weeks, was just to let Kelly do his thing and leave him alone. Because we were pushing toward the end of the month, and we sort of the episode had to be out in this last week of September so that we could do our entries for the Audioverse Awards, because Terminal Secrets was nominated for writing and voice acting last year, and I wanted to enter again because this time I want to fucking win something.
Yeah.
So I said to Kelly, "Okay, cool. Just you can take as long as you want. Just make sure it's out before September." And we get to like sort of the 20th or somewhere around there. And okay, Kelly, how long is it going to be? Well, so it'll be out within those last few days of September. And then there's me sitting there, like 3 or 4 days before September ends up. Is there anything I can help with? I have a fuckload of time. Let me help. And Kelly takes he says, yes. Here's some simple shit you can do.
Yes, please help me.
Oh, and then a week passes, and then there's me. Hey, Kelly. So I underestimated my schedule. I can't do any of this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting with like 10 minutes of missing audio going, "No worries, mate, no worries. I'll work it out." You did send over your sound effects, which you were using, which was absolutely great. That helped like tons, because I was getting prepared for, because it was the gore sound effects, and I was going to get like my rubber gloves out and get some like ravioli. And
oh wow, nice.
I was going to go really like professional on it, and then he's
Foley.
Like, yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's 4 minutes of gore sound effects." Okay, yeah, that's done. 10 minutes later, it's done.
Yeah, all you gotta do is rip the Saw movies and take that audio.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but I saw that you did. You added in the ghoul sound effects, and you for the pushing the bookshelf, I think.
Yeah,
it's really helpful because it was like I was struggling on the ghouls.
The ghouls. Luckily, I had that one file of the zombies, so that was
right.
Trying to get all those trying to level the sound effects for a zombie horde is a freaking nightmare, though.
Yeah. So I just had I ripped I just downloaded the ghoul sound effects for New Vegas, I think it was, and it was okay, but it's like there's like 3 sieger sound effects which get repetitive quickly, then a few like attack ones, and then there's some like lion roars for randomly, and it just didn't really sound very good. And yeah, so you really helped me out. Thank you.
Yeah, doing monster noises is always a creative combination. Like, and we lost James. Vermont. I know. I'm trying to remember in Jurassic Park. I think the main T-Rex sound was like. I'm trying to remember the combination. It's like there's elephant in there, and then there's like I think rhinoceros, a couple of like other big land animals essentially, and they blur them all together.
Yeah, that's like a lot of monster sounds are just a combination of tons of other things. It's just more difficult when it's a horde of those things and trying to make it not repetitive when you've got like one sample to work with. Like that's the bitch of it, you know. But yeah, I think it went okay-ish, even though there is still some missing sound effects. But I think that's the nature of it when it's like an hour and a half long and you're one guy doing it. and you've got a deadline.
It sounded
So,
pretty
yeah.
comprehensive to me. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
I was marveling at the outside scenes when you got
Yeah.
the great power armor like moving and the
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
servos, and then you've got all the soundscaping around it. I was blown away by that bit.
Oh,
The traveling scenes were gorgeous. I loved them.
Yeah.
They were.
Oh, thank you guys. I had the trick to the power armor was I took my metal bin and shoved tons of things in it, and then just went shook it. That's
That is
the power armor.
awesome.
Yeah, it's like you never know how it's made, but that was how that was made. It was and then tons of editing. Like my project has about 10 plugins per channel for that thing, but yeah, I made it like months ago, and this was the perfect opportunity for it. And I was like, I finally get to use these sound effects, and yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, because I was quite proud of that, actually.
Enjoyed it so much.
Yeah. And also, I noticed that the audience hasn't said anything about the sound, which means it's good, I think.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to sound.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
silence is usually good in that case.
Yeah. No one notices it, so it must be all right.
It's not like the first episode where
Oh exactly. They notice it.
Yeah. Everyone says, "What the fuck's wrong with this this audio?" Yeah.
No,
I
I was
remember
a
that comment
bassist in
section.
college. I know that perspective on things. They only
Yeah.
notice it when you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was the writing like for?
There we go.
There we go. Yeah. I was
I'm
just-
back.
As we've got all the writers here, how do you think the writing for the episode went?
Oh, Mint was by far my favorite character I've ever created.
Oh, dude, mint cream was absolutely fantastic. Also, I'm back, by the way.
yes,
Welcome back.
You left.
actually she started off really adorable as well,
Yeah.
and then stayed really adorable.
Yeah. Oh man, the at the end when she goes, I'm being a big sappy ninny. We're going into war face, and then that was like
The first
such a sad.
the first friggin' the first war face though. That
Yes.
with baby mint.
That was
Girl.
really adorable.
Baby Mint's girls were
Yeah.
adorable.
They really were.
Reminded me
So
of that
is
one
that-
Luna comic where she's making the gur faces of the guards.
Oh,
I love that. So the so it's actually kind of interesting looking at the writing for this episode, because originally Mohan pitched a very very different story to me for this episode.
Oh,
It was highly ambitious and it fell apart completely.
It was a moonshot project.
Yes,
did you say?
it was stable on the moon.
Yeah.
oh, yeah. I was wondering when that.
You
episode
played
was
too
gonna
much
come
Call
up.
of Duty
Oh.
Modern Warfare before writing that, did you? Exactly what
Which-
that was.
You can all still see the remnants of that project in the Terminal Secrets cover art, because
Yeah.
when Mohan pitched the idea to me of a stable on the moon, I was so excited that at the time when we had the cover art going, I went to the artist. I was like, "Hey, dude, the moonshot has to be in the cover. It has to be in the cover because it's going to be amazing."
Hold on, let me put that on screen. I got that somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Can everyone see that? I think they'll see it.
Yeah, we got to wait for the thing to catch up.
I also really like this was Zeplich. I forget what his old name was, and I really like his drawing of Pinkin too. She's really adorable.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the
There we go. That's the 3-1, but you know.
because that was part of this episode. So yeah, this episode went through. Mohan had that, but then he well, actually, no, you can tell the story, Dan. You were the one who lived it. How it went from Moon Stable to Steel Rangers and Mint Cream.
Mint
Oh.
cream.
God, I can't even remember that far back. What was it? The moon stable was getting bigger and bigger, and in fairness, the story seemed pretty good, but it completely devolved from Terminal Secrets to a full-blown sci-fi, which would have felt completely off the rails. So I had to dial it right back to ground level. And what's more ground level than a stable full of grunts?
Oh god. This is actually kind of like Call of Duty in the way it's like fuck it with the we're going to the moon. No, wait, boots on the ground.
Yeah.
With Pony, I always took the Ruby perspective of things. They had a great Ruby, I forget what they call their little vignette videos. They had one of those episodes about how like their dust, their magic powder, just loses effectiveness the further it gets from the surface of the earth. And I kind of take that perspective, like the whole magic ley lines thing. Like, yeah,
makes sense.
That's just me.
What was kind of funny was so I remember Dan sending me, because there wasn't much to the Steel Ranger stable outside of it's a Steel Ranger stable, so the character had to be interesting. So I remember Dan sending me the first of Mint's audio logs with her cute little nickname at the end, and it's like just based off the nickname alone, it's like this is amazing. She's amazing. More, just do more of the nicknames.
The nicknames were totally unintentional. They just happened.
Nicknames are just happening now. Yeah.
The nicknames were awesome.
They were.
We probably shouldn't discount. Is it Peach Cobbler? Oakland's
Yes,
character.
Yes.
I feel like she did very well with that character as well. That was really
They're not
She
made
did.
for each other, okay?
They're not
I'm
made for each other.
I agree with Stella, like 100%.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
They should stay friends with benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. Friends with benefits, just sharing each other's peaches in return for engineers.
Oh, come on.
Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Oh my god.
So
That is basically their relationship. They just go, "Hey, I've just been to war. Here's some peaches, and then I'm gonna bang you for it." Like
Help lubricating your armor.
that's literally the conversation.
that is, isn't it?
Pretty
Right?
much.
That's essentially love in the military, though. Makes sense.
So, to be
Yeah.
fair,
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
you got Stella's whole shipping and shipping things and believing that they don't belong together. Stella is very, very biased. She does have a little. I think she has a little crush on Mint.
Or yeah,
definitely.
possibly, yeah. But actually, no, I don't know if it's a crush. It seems more like
An
I
obsession.
don't know what it is, but she seems to like admire her, like because she's sad.
Yeah.
He says, "Live in the
Or
dream" or whatever.
rather, Dr. Fractal thinks it's a crush.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, goddamn dude, you did such a good job mixing Fractal's voice.
Oh, that
Thank
was
you.
awesome.
That was just a stroke of genius to make him sound like the master. Don't know what came over me. It was just like, you know what would work? Making him sound like the master, and just went for it. And,
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks he sounded like the master.
Yeah, it was on purpose.
That's
Yeah.
classic Fallout.
Yeah.
Wait, Dan, are you talking about which master are you talking about though? Because
The
if I
big
recall-
gloopy one.
What?
They're all goopy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
I think he's talking about the Jim Cummings one.
Yeah, because at first I thought you were talking about the. At first, for some reason, I thought you were when you said master. I was like, wait, do you mean the one from Doctor Who or the one from Fallout?
Well, in fairness, if you think about it, some of the performance was pretty masterish from Doctor Who.
I went
yeah.
more, for the performance. I went way more for David Tennant as Kilgrave and Jessica Jones. Like
Kilgrave
He
was
kind
the
of
only
has
good
that-
character in Jessica Jones.
Exactly.
that's
Kilgrave
not
carried
true.
it.
That's not true.
Jessica
drug-
Jones
the drug-
sucks
Jessica's
so
just a trollop.
bad. I hate Jessica Jones so much.
I loved that show so much that Jessica Jones was the whole reason that it kind of so that's where we got Aria Moon in Terminal Secrets episode 2 from.
That's true.
And which was that whole episode had a whole noir sort of buzz around it, which I didn't.
Arya
Do-
Moon has better nuance than Jessica Jones.
Jessica
She
Jones
does.
didn't like Arya
No,
Boots
she-
hoops.
I kind of figured that because I didn't. Jessica Jones kind of gave me the inspiration to do it, but for Ariamuna, especially in her appearance in this episode, I took a lot more from The Big Sleep and Chinatown and The Third Man, as opposed to Jessica Jones. Though she is essentially, in my eyes, she takes a lot from her, especially in her design. Though her hair's a bit more brown than black.
Oh shoot! I should probably put that back on screen. Okay. Sorry.
Oh god. And speaking of that section of the story, so that has been the piece that everyone has been that seems to have been brought up the most. Every single time when I sent the script out to a voice actor or with the patrons who got their early viewings, was the dude, the fucking 7-page or 15-minute monologue. What the fuck? The voice actress, fucking Hypnodug, Maddie, she had a minor freak out.
Oh, she did so well on it. Like seriously, it's some of the best voice acting I've ever heard. It was just holy shit. Oh, and yeah. So for when you cut out the snippet of it, James, did you leave in the original music?
It's in the audio of the downloads, so you can.
Right, yeah, it's in the downloads because it's like with the music, with like the original music I picked out, like it gives me goosebumps when it just fades out. It just leaves that, just sustains. But like with the new music, it's kind of like it just kills the atmosphere because it's just not quite right.
I know,
and it just bugs me so much because it's like it was just perfect.
Artistic fury.
So. In the extract version, in that snippet, it has the new music because of the copyright. But it got hit by copyright anyway for the new music you used. It got hit by copyright again.
God damn it!
So
God damn it, YouTube!
It was a fucking nightmare. But for the record, so the download version of the episode has the original music. So for the record, to everyone, if you want to hear the terminal sequence with the noir piece, the way it's meant to be heard with the original music we had for it, definitely download it from our Bandcamp. Because as Kelly says, God, the music in that is just so.
We have the free MediaFire downloads too, if you want that. The Bandcamp it's essentially a tip jar.
Yeah, the freaking. It was just really, really nice to see all the reactions that came by to that monologue. I think the nicest thing that was said to me so far was Maddie saying that, oh yay, something really nice to use for my portfolio. Like, yay!
That's nice.
Right?
Yeah. That is a good portfolio piece. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Best horse noir ever.
Yeah.
I'm sticking it right at the front of my portfolio.
But thinking about characters, I've got to praise Backstrap for being probably one of the most Fallout-esque characters ever. And it's something that Bethesda just cannot do, is write a character like that.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, like Backstrap is just Fallout in a nutshell. And it's just, oh man.
Yeah, it reminded me of Hellboy 1 when he wakes up the dead Russian guy and puts him on his back. That's what I was thinking of.
Backstrap was a lot of fun to write. Because he came directly from just the name. So the only part of Mint Cream's journey that I wrote was Backstrap.
Nice.
Because typically I leave the stable adventures to the co-writers, so to Skybolt and to Dan. But with Skybolt I usually edit the fuck around in and around it. And then with Dan, I added in Backstrap. So I meddle. So maybe I don't necessarily leave it to you guys. I meddle a lot.
But it's okay. It is a show.
Honestly,
Backstrap.
You meddle in the right way.
Yeah, it's meddling in the right way. That's how I feel. And with Backstrap, he came entirely just from the name. of like, okay, I need a new character. I need a character from Mint to meet before Steelhooves comes in. Sort of picking up my bag. Oh, Backstrap. Okay, cool. What kind of character's named Backstrap? Okay, cool. Let's just build from there.
No, I mean, basing character things off of the name is great. I've done that a few times myself, where it's like, come up with the character name, and then you can build personality traits around that.
Right. And friggin' kudos to Dusty Cat for pulling off Backstrap in such a great way.
Damn good performance.
Backstrap was originally written to be English, because obviously it takes place in
Trottingham.
It all takes place in Britain. So the problem was that one of the few regrets of this episode I do have is I do wish I had gone back and just written in just a throwaway line of Backstrap saying that he had been visiting from from Manhattan.
Or how about what's a horse pun for Brooklyn? It sounded kind of Brooklyn.
Oh god!
Anyway,
Well, I think it was already. I think it was expressed fine enough in it with how he's saying, "Oh, I was with my partner. We've been traveling around the place."
Yeah.
And I do think it kind of gives the impression that they've been traveling, and I mean, it's kind of left in the open of where did they come from or whatever. Maybe they were in whatever stable it was that got radiated in Fallout, like Vault 1 or whatever I think it is in the thingamabob. So it was left open. And it works, I think.
What you're saying is this was cross-promotion with Kingsman: The Golden Circle? I just watched that yesterday, and I kind of get that feel now.
And speaking of voice actors who nailed their job, since we've spoken about Hypnodunk as Vienna and Arya Moon, we've spoken about Dusty Cat as Backstrap, but we do need to get to the friggin' cream of the crop, fucking Obab Scribbler as Mint Cream. Oh my god.
That was adorable.
Yes.
Oh my god, she was fantastic.
She nailed it.
She sounded exactly like Mint sounded in my head.
Oh, nice. Well, I remember I did go to you for because she provided. So when we originally approached her, she did the demo recording with a couple of different voices. And I had no clue which one to choose, so I shipped it over to Dan. Like, okay, cool. Which one sounds best like Mint Cream? So he chose the voice that or rather the accent that she was going to use. And oh god damn, dude, no, Scribbler nailed it. She really, really did. Fuck. What was I gonna say? I was going to say something. When I got the first audio file from her, which was the Mint's first scene with Baby Mint, and she's doing the Grr face, and it's just young Mint. So,
I like Baby Mint. That's cute.
There's like just a minute of Scribbler trying out ways of saying Grr.
Oh, that sounds so cute.
I actually should just when Eternal Secret is all over, I want to do one big behind the scenes episode with all the how it was made and all the bloopers and so on. And I do want to. This episode did yield some really great bloopers. One of which being, or not bloopers, but just behind the scenes moments. And one of them is Scribbler trying out Gurr noises, and another is Dusty Cat getting really, really grumpy because. So this episode's script, as is typical for a Vermont script, is riddled with spelling mistakes.
Oh god. Who wrote this?
Dan knows, and Dan knows the pain of reading my scripts because my grammar, my fucking my spelling.
This is why you need a proofreader.
This is why
This is why you run it through Word first.
Well, in the old stable text scripts, I used to forget to leave full stops at the ends of sentences.
Oh my god, that would kill me. Okay, spelling is one thing. That would kill me.
Yeah.
Where is the end of the sentence? Because I have an Ernest Hemingway problem where I can write long run-on sentences, which I self-correct as much as I can. but it's like if I didn't use proper pronunciation, I would lose track of it too. Oh my god.
Well, okay, to be fair, you write your scripts almost in prose format, so it's easier to lose track of things, whereas in script format, it's all in shorter. Although, to be fair, it wasn't back in those days, because I used to write all my action lines in like these fucking 6 to 8 lines a paragraph.
Blocko text.
Yeah, fucking blocko text.
Going over to script format from prose is really, really hard.
Fucking one of my favorite fucking memories is still Dan eventually getting sick of it and taking away lines of dialogue from me. You get 30 lines of dialogue per script. If you fuck up again, I'm taking away more.
Yes. I threatened to eventually have him do one script entirely in mime.
Yeah. Which then I really wish we still had the recording of that meeting, because it then turned. Actually, wait, no, I think it actually made it into an episode of Stable Talk. Was me saying we should take the mime and just turn it into Fallout Equestria done in interpretive dance.
I like that idea.
Oh god, I remember that one.
That sounds like a great idea.
With all of these spelling mistakes, Dusty gets through it every time he gets to a spelling mistake. You can tell because he stops. He gets a little bit quiet for a second, and then he continues reading until eventually he got really, really sick of it. And there's this it's like blah 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 blah. Who wrote this?
Again?
Oh, Dusty. I gotta say, I was just...
So, Vermont, how many times did someone ask that now? Twice?
No, it has just been Dusty, but
okay.
It's now just become a joke between myself and Needle that every time I fuck up, there's this pause. Who wrote this? And Needle's actually got to send that audio clip to a buddy of hers to a musician buddy of hers who's fucking remixing Dusty saying that and turning it into a song.
Oh god, yes. That must happen.
Right, just to torment me.
Play it on a loop.
This is why I love Needle.
Oh man. Oh god.
I gotta say, I was happy too to write a follow-up section for Stable 73, the Hunger Stable. I spent a whole Saturday evening when James talked to me about that, really coming up with like, where would they be at this next phase of life? What would have happened after the fact? That was neat.
Yeah, so that was. I think so. A lot of this episode was a retrospective. So we went and which is why we went and revisited all of the old stables in reverse, starting on Callie and Milliamp. So yeah, went to Skybolt, asked him to do that. Then of course, no one has pointed. Actually, wait. I think no, Dan did point it out, but no one outside of Dan, I think, has pointed out the friggin' derpy Easter egg in episode 4, which I'm very upset about.
The Wasteland Survival Guide. Yeah.
Or was it? Oh, pointed it out, but yeah, friggin' there's a section in Callie and Milliamp's segment where they say they left the stable and they were saying, well, that book we found outside the stable says there's a settlement nearby. Yeah, that was a weird thing to find. I think it was left for us. No, I think a traveler just dropped it. I mean, it was sitting there waiting for us with a red ribbon tied around it like it was a present. I can kind of imagine. So for anyone who re-listens to the episode, that is the Wasteland Survival Guide that Derpy has gone to. So it is now canon to us. Derpy goes to every single stable she can find and leaves them a gift-wrapped copy of the Wasteland Survival Guide.
Which does seem like something she would do. Like, that is a really nice thing.
Yes.
Also, that went completely over my head.
That was essentially the last 2 episodes were just connecting all of our things properly together in the stories.
Yeah. We've, because fucking episode 6 of Confessions had the return of Pink.
The return of Pinkin. Should we talk about how far back that goes? I mean, we agreed to that idea way back in, I want to say, February of 2016.
I was still writing episode 2 of Terminal Secrets, so yeah, that was that.
Damn.
And we have been silent about that fucking twist for
We kept
so
that
long.
so secret. It was great.
It was killing me not to be like, hey, just to someone, just to anyone. By the way, Pinkin's coming back. Like, nope.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's all fucking because up until then we haven't had up until that we haven't had any we hadn't done any full crossovers.
No.
The closest thing we did was an episode of the Wasteland Survival Guide referencing the Winter Ball.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she did reference the Nuclear Winter Wonderland stuff, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, actually, yeah, that was the very first episode of the Wasteland Survival Guide that did that, if I recall.
Yeah, and of course, then having a whole hour where you're talking to Pinkin and don't know it's her, too. That's what I really tried to get across, was make you reconnect to the character and then drop the spoiler.
Yeah.
Like, like the ending of the first season of Rebels, even though no one liked that.
Yeah, and I absolutely loved the idea of the. It's one of those small things, but the fact that her line of dialogue to introduce herself is the same as her first line of dialogue in Terminal Secrets is just it's for like the eagle-eyed listener. It's a really really nice little punch of the my name is Pink Pippin, but you can just call me Pinkin.
Yeah,
and yeah, in the back of my mind, I can just hear that. Really, really, because the voice actress we originally got to do Pinkin was so freaking adorable.
That was cute, yeah.
Definitely.
God. So we have come a very, very long way.
Dude, no kidding. Holy cow.
So, funnily enough, in this episode of Terminal Secrets, there was a lot going on behind the scenes of that, because this episode was in a lot of ways a very very big reset for the series. We've kind of so some of you will have noticed that we've essentially closed off Butterfly's story. She is going to continue on, but her primary story arc of dealing with and handling what she did at the end of episode 1, gassing Pinkin's stable, has been sort of dealt with. Obviously, the pain will still remain, but it's no longer her primary thing. Killing off spare parts at the end of the episode gives us a way. It is, so she's still going to have stuff to do and be relevant to the plot, but it is mostly Stella's story from for episodes 5 and 6, which that is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to read the episode 5 script.
Oh yeah, I could mention that. I have the first script of episode 5 done, so I'm just polishing the demo before presenting it to James, because I'm very happy about it. I really think it is better than the first 2, maybe. I'm happy with it.
Well, the thing is, you don't have you don't need to worry about it being better than Dose and Hunger. You need to worry about it being better than Tinned Mint.
Yeah, I know. I was like, where can I put in a 20-minute long monologue? I remember all the shit I got from you over the monologue at the end of Dose, and I'm like, okay, I see where it is now.
And this is funny because we used the same voice actress for both of those monologues.
Oh my god.
Which also, friggin' Hypnodunk has such a wide range. If you consider that she did Dr. Needle in Terminal Secrets 1, where she had that massive monologue revealing the stables things. She is also the Crusader mainframe, and she did another monologue as the Crusader mainframe about her backstory with Dr. Fractal.
And
she's Spare Parts, who has been fantastic throughout this whole series. Just a welcome dose of levity to Butterfly's storyline.
And the DJ.
Yeah, and the DJ. And the DJ is always a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Although I think I prefer the new DJ. He seems like a nice.
He seems a bit violent.
There's the line that she did that Dr. Fractal's now replaced, like she did really, really well, and I was like, do we have to change it? It was like they were both really, really good, and it's like for the sake of the story we have to do it, but it was just like, oh man, it was just
Yeah, she did the line really, really well, but because originally in the script the DJ was meant to do the final bit where she was like, hey, this is my favorite song, we're going to play it, and I know it's kind of morbid, but whatever, fuck you, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
And it was only when I was recording my lines for Dr. Fractal that I sort of got to the end, and I was looking at the script like, this would actually be way cooler if this was Dr. Fractal, just to sort of read it, because I figured as I was doing the read that, Oakhart's back.
Okay, let's try to add her to the call. Come on, Okie.
Come in, Oak. We miss you.
Come on.
While I was doing the line, it kind of also dawned that at first it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear that the explosion was Fractal's fault. It just seemed like an accident.
Yeah.
So having Fractal come onto the radio before and essentially do everything except admit that he is about to bomb the stable.
Actually, that made it a lot darker.
Yeah, but I like it. I mean, I like where the storyline's going. I mean, I was going to say, like, you're saying about closing the butterfly stuff, but I think it's good that we've closed the butterfly stuff because it's now like we know who she is and she's had her arc, but now it's kind of like the overall arc of like what the stable's about and all the experiments and stuff. So it's kind of like gone up a level in like meta story almost, and I really like that at the moment.
100%. Like the story, because originally for those first 3 episodes, the idea of using the stable was mostly there just as a framing device. It was just there so that we could have a storyline to connect between all the different experiments, and it was only like as we were going through the writing process for Tintment that I was thinking, well, let's use the opportunity of this stable that we've created to tell a more interesting and deeper story. And we have arrived at that now. And what you're going to see in episodes 5 and 6 is just really, really freaking cool. So I've been planning out episode 6 now, and like the power that you've got to sort of look at, like the sort of the power that you would have being in control of the stable. The fact that you know so much about all of these ponies who have lived these lives over hundreds of years, which you then got to take into account of the fact that there are 2 artificial intelligences, or rather 2 fragments of artificial intelligences that have the capacity to absorb and understand all that knowledge. So definitely I would recommend, it's going to be quite a long wait between episodes 5 and 6 because they're going to be produced simultaneously and released pretty much back to back. So I would definitely recommend to fans to go back, listen through, find all the interesting plot points and think about where the story is going, because there are a few things that people haven't noticed yet that really, really do threaten to kick the story into high gear, especially considering that one of the biggest friggin' spoilers of the series is hidden inside the poster.
Yeah. Well, that was the end of episode 1 where it creepily goes. No, it's the end of the official music, the title theme. At the end, it creepily shows that. Yep. And it's like, what is it? But I think I might be imagining it, but there's a line in episode 1 where there's something where I think it's like Butterfly's like, yeah, this is all bullshit. And then she gets threatened of like, well, you can't leave kind of thing. And there's like, I can't remember what like the line was, but it's like, there's already hints of evilness within that stable all the way back then.
Mate, if you could, there's a lot to sort of consider if you look into. So, say for example, so we've never discussed inside the series at this yet the hierarchy of the stable, because Stella from what we've seen, Stella seems to pretty much run things. But in episode 1, the DJ does point out that there is an overman.
Yeah.
So you've got to imagine so if there's an overman, if there's Stella, what would you think the relationship between those two characters are? And you go, and in a stable full of ponies who are, and I'm just going to ask a question. In a stable full of ponies whose job is to face up with the moral corruption of stable tech. Every single day for their entire lives, they're meant to face stable tech's moral corruption. What do you think that would do to those ponies? Wouldn't that be an interesting experiment in and of itself?
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. I like this idea.
Right? I'm not confirming anything. I'm just leaving suggestions open to the audience.
That is deliciously evil.
And the imagination runs wild.
Yeah, everyone give us 10 minutes and we'll think about this. Because I think I've always thought about the fact that obviously this is kind of the control stable. So obviously stable tech people would have gone to that place. And as well, it does kind of seem like the analysts are the grunt, doing the grunt work. And it's almost like they're at the bottom level of the stable and then there's people above them and stuff who are the actual stable tech people. And as well, I feel like Butterfly having an actual morality would be the odd one out. It's in kind of stuff. So I think that would be interesting kind of thing. I've seen like more of the stable and she's the only one. She's got to kind of shut up about it, because she's the weird one. She's the weird one for not wanting to kill an entire stable or something,
Because the idea of oh shit, Okart's in the call. I just noticed I see Okart's little icon. Hi,
That has yet to be
Okart.
proved, though.
She is here. I heard her beeping. Well, not her beeping, but there was definitely something beeping.
Schrodinger's
It
Okart.
takes me, though,
There we
less
go.
than half the time it took you guys to realise.
I was waiting for you to say something.
I saw you join. We were just halfway through a conversation,
Exactly.
I noticed, but I was muted and I didn't realize I was muted, so I said hi.
Oh my god.
Because I'm eating dinner right now.
I spent most of the time unmuted.
Ah,
Yeah. I don't want to bother people with my eating noises.
thank you. That's very kind. Like, there's tons of people who don't.
I know it bothers the fuck out of me.
And also, Oakheart, I'm still not happy with you because you're not meant for Peach. I'm not happy. I know you're just a voice actress. I'm not happy.
So we all agree that Okart did a great job, but the characters themselves should not be in love.
Yes.
That's Kelly's
Yes,
fault.
basically, yeah.
No. Just the occasional flame.
Yeah.
Well, suck it up. You're going to have to get used to Mint Cobbler for the sequel.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I think she should change it to Peach Cream instead. That's a much better last name. and cream is what's involved in the whole process anyway.
Oh!
Classy.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, I think let's have a show of hands in the comments. Would you like to see Mint Cream go off on her own for her own little adventures outside of Terminal Secrets? I want to see if the chat thinks there's any future for seeing a Mint Cream led production.
Yes,
Because
please.
I personally think there is.
It'd have to be both together.
Same.
It couldn't be just mint cream.
Wait, the box. Random question, totally random.
Yeah.
Okay, did you purposely mean for Mint and Peach to get into a lesbian relationship because both voice actors are British? Or was that just a coincidence?
That's on Scratchy. That's on Scratchy. He wrote most of Mint Cream. The only Mint Cream I wrote was the stuff with backstrap, so ask him that question.
Okay, Scratchy.
They
Care to
started they started off as friends, but because the Stallions wouldn't let them look at all the questionable magazines, they had to entertain each other.
Oh my gosh.
I actually explaining this shit.
I think in the words of Little Creeble, it's like, I'm not gay, I'm just British.
Oh man, I love the idea of because that was how the episode was originally pitched to me, with the porn mags in the fucking pitch of the stable is left. They're left in the stable with nothing but what they're
with nothing but a few decks of cards, a pool table, and some old wing boner magazines.
That was it.
All right.
That was. Okay, cool. I'll green like this.
I approve.
There was much less porn than I was expecting. Except for the very end, where at the end of Mint Cream's last log, it ends with her literally having Urquhart technically inside. Well, I mean, Peach Cobbler technically inside of her.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed Oakhart's uncut lines. Had about like 10 minutes of her going, "Oh my god, no!" and just like laughing like through the entire thing. It's an absolute miracle how we managed to piece together an actual coherent sex scene. But
oh my gosh,
that was hilarious.
I deny that one.
Oh god,
I will get to that.
I'm amazed we actually that's as close as we have ever. That's probably as close as we ever will get to having a sex scene. To be fair,
I disagree. I was actually not sure what to expect when I got your audio and Freezy's audio for the end of Confession 6. I really wasn't sure what I'd have to work with, but you guys did a good job.
Thank you.
You gave me just enough moans and oohs to work with.
That was one of the weirdest things I've ever had to record.
Sometime whenever we release the scripts, you guys will see my notes for that, which I believe are descriptive enough, properly.
Well, so I've actually been busy lately working on a website for EAST Corp, just to give us a portal where you all can go and view our content that we have a little bit more control of, and that's away from
goes bankrupt.
Yeah, because I mean YouTube is getting worse and worse and worse. So and most audio drama companies channels do seem to be leaving YouTube or running off of iTunes and websites. But anyway. Part of what we'll be adding into there, what I'm looking at adding into there, is the scripts for every episode. Because that's always interesting to read, at least from my perspective.
It is. Also,
read notes, bloopers. Also, because I mean, we have way more control and agency over the visuals. YouTube. What happens if YouTube changes its visuals again and it looks like shite?
Gosh. Yeah, I'm just waiting for that to happen.
I'm kind of waiting for them to turn it back, because they did that last time.
The friggin' oh god, it's still infuriating what they did with luckily we weren't caught in this, but now to link Patreon, you need to be a monetized channel.
Really?
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. So it's like fucking, we're going to cut off the money we give you, and now we're also going to try and cut off the money that you're getting from your other method of payment.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Right. I love.
It kind of sounds like the behavior of a country setting itself up to be anti-trusted. Back to hell.
Yes.
It's fucking hilarious to me that YouTube used to be considered, and still to somewhat degree still is kind of considered this. It's this revolutionary thing where creators can put up their content and not have to deal
Well, here's the irony that everyone forgets is that YouTube didn't become big because it was because it was a platform for creators. It essentially got big because it was like a live leak that worked. They had the illicit video of the Super Bowl, the clothing malfunction. So that drew billions of people to it right away because, of course, it got censored by TV and stuff. And everyone's like, "What happened? It's the Super Bowl." So it's like stuff like that, and then also people illegally uploading videos and illegal content on there. That's what got YouTube big. So the irony of where it's at now is so ironic that it's like that it would fight original creators creating original content. It's just madness, just madness.
Actually, they're starting to focus on like movies. They're trying to become the next Netflix.
Yeah, no way. That is not happening.
Like, have you seen the front page when you're not logged in? It looks like a replica of Netflix.
Oh yeah, no, they've been trying that little by little for years. Just like the stupid Google Plus thing, where it's like, hey, when you ripped out all that Google Plus shit, it worked as its own social network already, with a vibrant and colorful comment section.
Emphasis on colorful.
Oh my gosh.
And please, for the love of God, YouTube, will you please go fucking stop deleting the comments off of live chat when we end a live stream.
Yes.
That's the only thing I want out of YouTube now.
Yeah, I mean, it's text. It's such little information to save. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Every time you end a live stream, all these comments go away, which is really not, because then if people go onto our podcast, they'll see maybe 1 or 2 comments as opposed to the fucking over 100 that goes through here. Way
Well, the live chat gets some pretty good comments too.
The live chat gets lively.
Called a live chat.
Oh.
Okay, I got it. Like 10 seconds later.
Is this the part where you point out that Oakhart's profile picture is Sans from Undertale?
It's a version of Sans.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
He's my Sans.
Kinky.
So we've come to a section of the podcast that I'm a little bit that's a little bit awkward for me to discuss, but it's very, very important for me to discuss. And Dan knows what I'm talking about. I have run into some slight problems. I've mentioned on the podcast before how I had to leave midway through term during my I had to leave film school midway through a term because we ran out of money to pay them, and they tossed me out of campus. I spent about 2 weeks sneaking onto campus in the trunk of a friend's car, which I have video footage of. I really want to cut it together and upload it to the channel because it's really, really funny.
You really should.
Eventually, we did get caught, and that. They tossed me off campus, and I missed half a term, and then the holidays started. Now the holidays is about to end, and the final term is about to begin. We have to pay in about $3,000 before the 9th of October for me to return to school. If we do not pay it by then, I will not be able to return for the rest of the year, at which point I will fail the year and I will have to repeat second year again.
Oh,
Jesus.
So I have set, so this is the point of the podcast where I do ask fans for a little favor. I'm leaving a link in the chat. Well, I would try and leave a link in the chat, but of course, fucking thing doesn't like links. I'm just gonna. There we go. Nope, that did not work either. Fuck. That's problematic. So I set up a crowdfunding page to help me just raise the money, and I could really, really use the. The support.
Yeah, Vermont.
Yeah.
I think Skybolt needs to link in the chat because he's on the EAST Corp. He's logged in as the channel.
Oh, okay. Do you have the
Yeah, sending the link to you now, Sky. So Michael Smith, the original director of Stapletech Studios, came out of fucking nowhere and donated $200 a few days ago. So we're currently on $345 out of 3,000. We are 11% funded, which has helped ease the and Chaos in the comment section there. He also added in a pretty substantial amount of money. So anything that you guys have that you feel you could add in, every little bit helps. Even if I don't hit the $3,000 goal, we're trying to raise funds on our side by selling a few things and by looking a little bit deeper into our pockets. So even if we don't hit the $3,000 goal, that money will still help us when combined with the rest of the money we're raising on our own. That should hopefully that should get me through the rest. That should get us through the rest of the year with regards to paying my fees. So we've left the link in the live chat. Thank you. I could really use the help.
Every little bit helps. And spread the word, even if you can't pay anything. Yeah, so that is that for the slightly more grim part of the podcast. To slightly liven things up, I have a slight challenge for everyone.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, cool. So I want to. Okay, so this is the 10-second story.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the way this works is we look to the live chat, and the live chat has to give an idea. Will give a prompt for a story. It can be a line of dialogue. It can be a concept or whatever. Prompt for a story. We'll then choose one of the people in our within the podcast talking, and your job. And you have 10 seconds to figure out what that story is going to be. At which point you then need to try and tell the story from beginning to end. And the idea being to keep it going for as long as absolutely possible.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
So Stacey, try get the beginning of your story in the first 10 seconds, and then just make shit up as you go along. Oh, thank you, Smart Horse.
I actually signed it as Smut Horse, by the way.
Yes, he did. He actually signed it as Smut Horse. All right, so let's look to the live chat. Who has, or does anyone here have a writing prompt? And while we wait for that, who do we want to go first?
Scratchy.
Scratchy.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Or I could just go onto Reddit and look for. Okay. Dead puppies on fire. Contemplate the joys of water. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start the and then she ate his spleen. Which one do you want to go for, Scratchy?
You chose to go first. You can't back out of this there.
Well, I did not choose to go first. I was volunteered.
Well, you said you were
Voluntold.
Read a pod. Next one.
All right. And then she ate his spleen.
All right, cool. Your 10 seconds of preparation are starting in 3, 2, 1. He has 10 seconds to prepare his story. Figure out what he's going to tell. How is he going to start a story about someone who ate his spleen? And begin!
I got nothing. Oh my god.
I'm kind of shocked that Vermont is allowing me to do this. Smirk.
I could take your place if you wish, 'cause I've already thought of something.
Yes, please. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I will warn you, this will get extremely morbid.
Okay.
Go for it. Do it.
It was a late night and the party was in full swing. Someone brought out this really weird cake and told everyone to dig in. So, being the adventurous person, I decided to take a slice. I was the only one to do so. The room started going really weird. And then next minute I know, I've got someone shouting, and then she ate his spleen. I looked down to see the corpse of my ex-best friend laying in my arms, as I currently had hold of her spleen in my hands and blood everywhere. So everyone was looking absolutely mortified at me as I continued to munch down on said spleen, offering pieces around. So I jumped on someone else and forced a slice of cake down their throats. And then they started eating someone's spleen as well. Not mine, because I would have punched them.
I'm surprised by how quickly she came up with this.
Right?
This is
Wow.
this is a
Scared
Jill
by
the
that.
Ripper situation happening.
All right.
I was picturing Zombie's birthday party.
Oh, this is a fun game. Okay, who wants to go next?
Skybolt?
All right,
my
we're
God.
Skybolt. And Skybolt's options are: someone secretly has a crush for another, cider tastes weird, it was kind of chewy. Yeah, my cider tasted weird. Someone secretly has a crush for another, and Smut Horse's day off.
I'll go with the cider tasted weird.
All right, cool. Your 10 seconds of preparation start now. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Tension
That's
mounts.
awesome.
The tension is mounting. What is it going to do? And go.
And so Jean-Pierre was strutting about the party, very confident in his own abilities to rate all the wine as best as he could, because he knew he was right. His opinion was more valid than all of the other plebs and commoners at the tasting party, who were all there mostly just to get drunk and had no idea of the culture and circumstance of the occasion. So Jean-Pierre, feeling very sure of himself, said, "My cider tasted weird," to the response of everyone else saying, "That's because you're drinking piss." And he's like, "I am not." And they're like, "Yes, you were so full of yourself, so sure of your own confidence that you grabbed the I lost where that was going. Anyway, he was full of himself and he was an idiot.
And he
Oh,
drank.
that was pretty good, actually. I like that.
It was.
Yeah, growing up around Napa Valley, I'm surrounded by these damn cider, wine enthusiasts. It's just,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
oh my gosh.
Okay, then. Who is up next?
Silence.
James?
All right, I vote for Smut Horse.
God damn it.
Come on, don't fail us this time. You let us down once.
Oh, boy.
And I'll enter in. I'll give you a writing prompt.
This is going to be lewd, isn't it?
No.
That's my job.
Okay, cool. I just found a great one for Scratchy. That I'll give to him in a moment after Smut Horse's turn. Okay.
God.
Oh,
You
no.
discover that if you tell a lie, it becomes true as long as it doesn't violate the laws of physics.
Damn it. What am I supposed to do with that?
If you tell a lie, it becomes true as long as it doesn't violate the laws of physics. Your 10 seconds starts now. And the crowd watches, the crowd waits and anticipates for what she's going to do. It's probably going to be an NSFW story, and her time is over. Begin.
Okay, I have nothing. That is...
I am not saving your flank again.
I came up with a good idea, but it wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah.
Some of us don't do good on the spot.
I really don't. I'm not good at improv.
Scratchy, you might do this one quite well though. So Instead of Hogwarts, Voldemort sets his sights on the unseen university.
Oh my god.
God fucking damn it. Please excuse me, I'll be back in a moment.
I think the idea of Voldemort trying to invade anywhere in Discord would be too funny.
I'm surprised no one has slowly backed away from me after the mini story I just pulled out of thin air.
No, we love you for being sadistic.
It was adorable.
It was a
It was
great story.
dark.
It was a fantastic story.
You say as you laugh to hide the pain. Hey?
Also, I think we all have to look down on Mr. Chris Finley in the comments section, who doesn't know what the unseen university is.
Oh, shame, Chris.
For
Never read Terry Pratchett.
Or he somehow did everything except for anything that happened in Ankh-Morpork.
Which is most of it.
Okay, yes, that's true. So I recently found one of my absolute favorite subreddits, which is just a form of writing prompts, and some of these are absolutely amazing. After years of driving, you have finally reached the end of the highway. You are now in the danger zone.
On the highway through the danger zone.
Oh,
That just sounds like the scary door to me or something. Like you're driving down a highway, then you get to the end of it, which is the scary door. Yeah, that's what that sounds like to me.
When you get to the end of said road, you have an impossible choice to make. Because either way, both will lead to your doom.
All I'm thinking is, after months of travel, I finally got to the end of the highway. You're now entering the danger zone. I turn left. Welcome to Texas.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's like West Texas is like 800 miles of nothing between El Paso and Austin. It's just you die.
Right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, oh, this is nice. You're a protagonist of some description, determined to save the day. The only problem is that you're trapped in the wrong genre, and your normal approach will lead to problems. I could kind of imagine someone doing a.
I like the cross genre idea. Take like a noir detective and put him in like a medieval battlefield against like giant trolls. He's like running, trying to hold a cigarette, and he's got his one little like Walther 39 or whatever.
And the whole way through, he's doing his best to monologue in a gravelly voice.
Out of all the places and all the times and all of history, and I end up here.
Oh no, there's some.
Oh my gosh.
Nope. The thing is kind of dull today.
An idea would be that we kind of do the story idea, but everyone's got to do like one sentence, sort of like if anyone's played that as kids.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Then you could come up with an entire
Oh,
story.
like a round robin story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. Let me just find a.
Yeah, come up with a prompt, and then someone starts it off, and then you got to go around in a circle.
Oh god,
Okay.
I guess one of those mangled stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or it might be a poetic masterpiece or something. I don't know.
But yeah, we're not whispering it to each other.
Here we go. So our prompt is The Nightmare on Sesame Street.
Oh god. It's Elmo with a gun.
What? No, I mean, like Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street.
I know.
Or suppose we could. Oh my god! Libertarian boomed the Sorting Hat.
What is that?
I don't know. Someone give us a. In the end, the revolution was won by raccoons. There we go. There's your writing prompt. Tell the story about how any revolution in the world was run by raccoons. Someone give us our first line.
I'm not drunk enough for this.
The war between the raccoons and the possums was a fierce one.
It was fought by more than one side, but less than three.
What?
What?
It's math. There were two sides. The possums and the raccoon.
God damn it.
More than one, but less than three. Who's fucking...
Yes, Oak Heart's beeping, yeah.
There was this constant, incessant beeping.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, what's the story so far?
We still can't get Ratchet to tell the story.
Sorry,
There
what?
was a war between raccoons and possums, and there were two sides. One
And incessant beeping.
and incessant beeping. Okay. So we left off on the...
Thus far, the robot hamster infiltrators had gone undetected, but not for long.
Because for watching them was the hero of the day, and of course, because this is coming from the Fallout Equestria fandom, she was a lesbian.
And a unicorn.
Yeah. And of course, she was rather promiscuous. I mean, she was so promiscuous that she was essentially like Blackjack, a fleshlight with a drinking disorder.
God.
But yes, that is the only description.
So I'm just going to start a motion to rename Vermont to Smuthorse 2.0.
Oh come on, is that not the best description of Blackjack ever?
Yeah.
I very dare you.
Oh my gosh.
I am not going to comment.
Oh, that is too fucking fantastic.
Now that's just got me thinking of Archer with the Katya arc. What is this doing in the sink?
Also, yes, you can remove it. And then she removes it, but then just sort of leaves it in the sink. Also, apparently, it vibrates.
Well, yeah, obviously.
God damn it.
Oh god, writing robots. There's so much room for expansion.
Yeah, you just got to upgrade the software to the Mark II version so they can use their prime weapons, right?
Some people prefer the larger model.
I think most people prefer the larger model. I can hear Wendy licking her lips in the background.
I am not a size queen. Much.
So I'm still waiting for I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks until the Samurai Jack Season 5 Blu-ray comes out, and I am so excited.
Oh, so we're turning this into the Samurai Jack podcast again. Cool.
No!
It'll be a DLC. It's short aside.
This is where I zone out.
Yeah. I haven't seen season 5 yet.
Uncultured film.
Oh,
I
Wow.
know. I'm behind on everything.
No, me too. I'm barely catching up on Pony, actually. I watched the end of Season 6, and I finally watched the Applejack's Parents episode like 2 days ago, and I'm like, oh my
Hell yeah.
god.
Oh god, I've watched one episode of season 7. It's a Daybreaker one.
We have all of the parents now, though. That's kind of nice. We have the My Little Moms, or whatever.
Yep. my headcanon is forever ruined. My story, I need to rewrite it.
It's like rather than
record, Twilight Velvet is still the best mom.
I think most old fanfics
Apple
are
Mom is
out
best
of date
mom.
by this point. I mean, literally, Fallout Equestria was written as like you know, it was being bypassed. You know, besides the fact that we've had longer time of Twilight Princess than we have of Twilight Unicorn, was the fact that then there was like that little snippet of Discord when Discord was first introduced. I mean, everyone forgets how old in the story Fallout Equestria is.
Yeah, it was written like
God.
halfway
All I
through
mean
season
was
2 or something.
Yeah, just before. So, at the time of season 2 had just premiered when Fallout Equestria had reached the. They were dealing with the Enclave at that point. They had finished dealing with Red Eye, and they were now dealing with the Enclave.
Yeah.
Wait, no, sorry. It was just before they started dealing with Red Eye because both of Gordina's children were still alive. So it was like chapter 33 then. It would have been like chapter 33. Which, yes, can't believe I remember that. Why do I remember the exact chapter?
Because it's you?
No, but I mean, I don't remember chapter titles or chapter numbers. I just remember I remember because chapter 35 was when they killed off Red Eye, and I was annoyed because it was like friggin'
Such an anticlimax.
That was a really anticlimactic death.
Like, the best character in the entire goddamn book got the... And because the problem is she wrote herself into a corner. Red Eye's plan was foolproof.
Yep.
It was Little Pip proof.
Little Pip was the fool.
Yeah. Like, he was... Like, his plan couldn't be undone. His logic behind why he was doing everything that he was doing was completely sound. And it was kind of... And Little Pip had, like, she had the solution to solve all the problems with the whole, you know... You jump into the vat with me, and if I win... and if I become the dominant mind when we combine, then then I'll kind of just... Then I'll do whatever you want. If you become the dominant mind, you can do whatever you want. And we fucking know that the Pegasus dude won't ever become the dominant mind because he's a wimp.
That's why it was chosen. It was perfect.
But obviously because, you know, plot reasons, you can't actually have Little Pip. I mean,
because plot, baby.
I don't know. I might have had Little Pip side with Red Eye in the end. There would have been. I think that might have been a really, really interesting twist. Is if Little Pip if she sided with Red Eye, and sort of.
Oh yes, Scratchy just dropped the most appropriate comic of all in the chat. Let me get this on screen.
What did he say?
Give me a second.
Yes, I have seen that.
This is concentrated truth right here.
Yeah, because like Little Pip, my problem with sort of, I like that they brought in Little Pip recognizing her moral grayness, but then at the end of the book she decides to try and be a good person instead of accepting the fact that she is a morally grey, conflicted character. Like fucking Red Eye is such a great character because he accepts that he's an asshole who's doing the right thing.
Yeah, what was the line? Like he's creating a world that he'll have no place in, or something.
Yeah. He's creating a world he has no that he doesn't belong in. Like he's the most selfless friggin' character in the books.
This like one comic really changed my perspective about a lot of things. I mean, I already like Little Pip was never even like top 5 in the story for me. Like obviously it's all about Steel Hooves for unbiased reasons, and then it's like down a level to Calamity, and then Velvet was pretty great, and then Little Pip I really. I cannot connect to her in any way, really. So it was tricky for me. It was like when, you know, it's like the fact that like when they gave a voice character in Fallout 4, the essential problem of the voice character is you can't really build your own. That was the magic of the courier. Is really whoever he or she is whoever you want it to be. I mean, the fact that they have a job moving shit around the wasteland is so minimal in terms of like story development, but whereas everything else you could build around it. But Fallout 3 and 4, you're very firmly tied to the narrative of main character.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my problem with Lil Pip.
Personally, I always thought of Homage as the main character.
That's a good perspective.
That would actually be interesting to write, to see a retread of Equestria from Homage's perspective.
I mean, come on, technically she is. She's the voice in the waist. She's the one that keeps everyone going.
I mean, if you think about it...
what an attractive voice it is.
Well, actually, I think the real main character is friggin' what's his name, the dude who does the translations. Because my theory is still that Little Pip was actually a terrible pony, and
her whole life was selectively edited.
Yeah, that's true. It's an unfaithful narrator. We have no idea what she was really like.
Well, yeah, because the thing is that we don't get her. We're not getting her exact thoughts. Her thought, what Little Pip said, what Little Pip told in her story, was transmitted to the Twilight Society, which was then edited and rewritten and sent to Homage, and then sent to Ditsy, and then spread around the wasteland. So what I still reckon, the reason that that her massacring the cannibals is still in the book is because Homage broadcasted about it all over the wasteland. There was no way to edit that out. But everything else is just a matter of what they say it's just a matter of what they say in the book. So, yeah, I reckon Little Pip was actually just a completely insane character who sort of fumbled the way across, and that a lot of it was edited. That's my theory.
Yeah, it's the Batman or Dark Knight Rises approach, where it's like, yeah, so Harvey Dent, he kind of turned out to be a villain, but we're just gonna build the mythology around him that he was the great, district attorney that saved Gotham from the Joker.
Yeah. So in that way, Homage and the Twilight Society technically are the main characters.
Woo!
Yay!
Even if they aren't bad characters.
So they basically, like, Little Pip, this psychotic stable horse, they're like, okay, we need to keep our weather towers running. Let's just fucking take this brain and plug that in. That can be our processor. Like, that was like her containment. They're like, not only will she stop, killing everything, but we can use her like a computer. This is like This is almost like a Borg approach now, where it's like, okay, we're going to absorb the biomass and put it to use over here.
Actually, that is really Warhammer 40k.
Oh my god.
Because they actually use brains as processors.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the original premise for the Matrix?
No, that was I think it was just the human body in general.
Yeah, that was the human body as like a power source, I think.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think the original premise was that the machines were using everyone's brains as an interconnected network, but whoever was paying for the movie, I don't know, they didn't like that, so they had to change it at the last minute to human batteries.
Really?
Oh,
that's odd.
Yeah.
Who was paying for the movie? Is that Warner Brothers?
I can't remember. But yeah, they didn't like the human internet thing, so it had to change.
Yeah, it's not like it was a totally original idea. I mean, that kind of thing's been around a while. Village Roadshow Pictures. Really? They usually make alright stuff. Oh well. Oh yeah, it was Warner Brothers. Fucking Warner Brothers.
It was... That's a shame. That's a much better idea than what...
It made a lot more logical sense in universe.
Yes.
No, I gotta say, it's always funny to see what some ideas were before they were pitched to studios. I freaking love the original pitch for what Ben 10 was.
Oh really? What was that?
So originally, it wasn't that he had a watch that could transform him into all these different aliens. Originally, it was that his watch could access an alternate dimension where he evolved differently.
Oh, neat.
Right.
I actually really like that.
I
Right?
remember you telling me this.
But the problem was that when they pitched it, the Cartoon Network was like, "That's way too complicated."
That's
to
that's
explain."
pretty deep to explain to kids,
Yeah.
So
especially kids that even
Much better premise, though.
It's a much better premise, and it's a very comic book premise.
Argonians.
Which does make sense because all the original writers for the show worked on comic books. They so those roots definitely shone through there. Which is would have been a much better premise, but it wouldn't have been something that you sort of sell to kids.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing that developed in some other way, though. That's a really interesting idea. It's kind of lightly what they touch on in a few of the alternate Rick and Mortys, where it's like you randomly see a fish Morty. It's for comic, laughs, but still.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of interesting seeing the different perspectives, which I actually had an idea based off of that concept, which kind of also came from...
I think Vermont is leaving the call, technically.
No, sorry, Vermont's back. Vermont was just turning away because he had to do a thing. Okay, so a combination of seeing the all the different versions of Rick and Morty and also having to move house gave me a really, really interesting idea. With the idea of if you tell a very long animated story, and then later on you do late into the runtime when you know who these characters are, you do an episode where they move house, and you have as they're moving the boxes, in the background you sort of just got you've got what's in the boxes, all these very strange items and objects. Because
what's in the box?
No, not necessarily. More just like your who you were 3 years ago, who you were 7 years ago, who you were 10 years ago is very different to who you are now. But you still carry, chances are, you still carry a lot of memorabilia from who you were 10 years ago, like the shit you used to be interested at the time or whatever.
Yep.
So if you look at that from like the perspective of an outsider who knows who you are now, who then sees you walking around with these boxes full of shit of who you used to be, it's almost like seeing an alternate version of a character without actually doing alternate characters. You're seeing you're seeing fucking short dude carrying like fucking basketball outfit, fucking gear or something. You don't expect that person was into basketball, but if you know who they are, it kind of starts to make sense.
It's definitely an interesting premise.
It really is.
It's not one of the ones that are sort of jumped out more. I spoke to.
It's a good premise for a slice of life show. Yeah. I think.
Well, it's sort of that's already just meant to be like background jokes and stuff rather than a premise or anything. The actual premise of that story I've already told you, Dan.
Oh yes, I love the premise.
Right? Oh man, like we may not have been able to sell an audience on peach creams. I mean peach cream.
It's mint cobbler, damn it.
I don't know. Peach cream has innuendo in it.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And it's terrifying, Vermont, coming from you.
Or it could be creamy cobbler.
Oh, God.
Wait, what did you say?
I am not drunk enough for this.
Creamy.
No. What did Stable say?
One-off special, peaches and cream.
Oh, there you go.
You
Where's the-
said Scratchy wrote most of the dialogue for.
I
Craig, right?
wrote most of Mint scenes. Yes.
At
Were
what
half
point-
of the nicknames intentional puns or references?
Nope, they just happened. They were completely unintentional.
It just happened.
That
Okay.
just in my head. That was how Mint spoke.
You should have thrown the word moist in somewhere.
I'll make a few supplemental journal entries just for the lulls.
Supplemental. What, like chapter 20.2?
Oh god.
'Cause I thought you made a reference to an anime called Full Metal Alchemist because you went, "This is Minty Full Metal Janitor signing
Yes.
Oh,
that-
yes.
off."
well, that's actually a reference to
Full Metal
The
Jacket.
metal jacket.
Yeah.
You uncultured swine.
Yeah.
I was just watching the drill sergeant scene from Full Metal Jacket again recently.
Oh God.
Which drill sergeant scene? The drill sergeant scene goes on for almost an hour.
Okay, the first one where he's in the barracks with all the guys, and it's the whole like it starts off with the "show me your war face" and then descends into racial epithets. That was, oh man,
Yeah.
you can't make that anymore. It's so golden.
Now that I think about it, there were actually a couple Full Metal Jacket references that Scratchy managed to sneak in.
I mean, how can you not? It's perfect.
Couldn't help it.
This is literally Kubrick tier artwork we're talking about.
Poor Minty. Actually, I'm
What do you
kind
mean,
of
poor
amazed
Minty? She got off perfectly. She's got the ladies. She's
got
got
both.
the armor. The armor's pretty nice.
Yeah, but the armor. The thing is, she unfortunately Mint Cream lent her armor to Scribbler, and then Scribbler crashed it.
Yes.
So Scratchy did a really, really fantastic piece. Actually, I'll send it to you now, Sky.
Okay.
Which we should definitely stick up here.
Okay.
Where is it?
Oh right, it's that one. It's amazing.
Gotta scroll up.
I love that one.
Still scrolling up. God, we sent a lot of messages in the last few days.
Yes. Also, I also love your other piece, Scratchy, which should also be put up on screen.
Which one?
Oh, you know the one. Smirk.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Is this podcast? I don't
Oh,
know.
no, it works for
What
that.
is this podcast rated?
This Fallout Equestria studio, everything is 18 plus. Peggy
Yeah.
18.
Everything's AO rated here.
No, definitely, we should add in that.
Yes, we should.
Okay,
The
so
audience's first exposure to Scratchy.
Oh my
No. They had Fem Scratchy Booty in the Vermont
Yeah.
podcast.
And they also had an exposure to Scratchy listening to Mint Cream's audio logs.
Oh, hey, this is great.
So they've
Okay,
had a lot. So I've sent it to Skybolt now. Oh, I've sent the Scribbler piece to Skybolt. Where's?
Yeah, I'll find the other one.
Cool.
God. Maybe Scratchy will need to send it. From user Feather Scratch
Oh my gosh, I need to add a background.
file.
Scratch.
Yes. What?
Axe file.
Oh no! Someone left that in the comments section. Someone kept saying
this works.
Scratch over and over.
Oh, there we go.
There. Dark background.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll just throw this one into the podcast one.
So
There you go, Skybolt.
as you see in this piece, Mint Cream is, which also
Oh,
that's
hey
Mint-
now.
I know, right?
God, Mint Cream looks adorable.
She does.
She
This is
really
great.
does.
I like the look of the undersuit too. That's pretty. That's kind of what I pictured for stuff too. For the
Yeah,
the
I kind of
Ranger.
loosely modeled that after the undersuit from Fallout 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hell. And also, how fucking the armor came out so well.
That is really detailed. Yeah.
Yeah, very very happy with that. I made a point to include the little hatch at the back because otherwise, how could an Earth Pony take that thing off? Realistically.
Yeah, I
How
had it as a
did she-
control in the helmet, or actually, like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like maybe a foot control somehow. Like almost like the Konami code, like up down left right, and then it pops open.
Actually, I kind of imagine it like it being like an integrated spell like SATs to just open the thing.
Could be that too.
So unfortunately, Scribbler could not join us for tonight's podcast, so consider this her
Cameo.
cameo.
Yes. Has anyone sent that to her, by the way?
Oh, don't worry.
Yes,
She'll come on the
she
next
really
podcast
likes
that I
it.
can't make.
Like
So,
everyone.
She has seen this. I sent it to her over Twitter.
God, what was the response?
She told me it reminded her of when she was learning to drive.
That was it. Oh god, yeah, that's fantastic. And then of course we have Scratchy's other piece, which Scratchy's other piece was born after being introduced to Wendy.
Hi.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. If we were putting that on or not.
Wendy has something of an influence.
That was my fault.
So, for the sake of some context, as Scrabble gets picture queued up, part of the backstory in Scratchy's character is that the way Poison Joke affects him is that it turns him into a mare.
Lucky bastard.
So we get Femme Scratchy.
Though my headcanon backstory to this piece is that Scratchy was exploring the mirror pool and took a shortcut back through the Poison Joke.
Exploring.
Oh yes,
And
he did a lot of exploring that night.
We have a Scratchy. We have Scratchy and a female clone of Scratchy.
Alright, I'm back. Anyway.
Perfect point to come back.
Urquhart chose a weird time to return.
Oh my gosh. Okard,
We can explain.
The situation?
Oh, card we can explain.
Explain what?
Just
What's
look at
on
the chat?
right?
Okay, let me just have a look at what's on the chat.
The chat is completely different. The chat's not going to give you hints. The chat's a whole bunch of
I
mess.
thought you were referring to what I posted or the link to Discord. Saucy Scratcher. Okay.
Yes. This is totally my fault, and I take claim for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is entirely Wendy's fault. Though Scratchy is not complaining.
Back screen, it ain't loading for me. But anyway, congratulations, Scratchy. You have just nominated yourself to be the 5th character in the West Corp picture I am currently drawing.
Oh, yes.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, given the context of this picture?
Femme Scratchy.
They're doing with EAST Corp, and what I'm currently creating is West Corp because everyone is gender bent. You tell me.
Oh, I love it.
You should have called it South
Slowly.
something, because like West Tech's already a thing, and then South would have been like also a double entendre, because going south is what would do.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Gender of everyone in EAST Corp. So I've got male Needle, female Vermont and Skybolt, and a male Lockhart, obviously.
Okay, so
And speaking
female Vermont, the female Skybolts totally need to be shipped, by the way.
Oh my god.
Yes, people keep shipping
I
Femmon.
worked on that.
Why are people shipping Sky and I? Stop it.
Yeah, stop.
Because it's cute.
It's not cute. Filthy zebra
Why am-
traders.
Also, I gotta say, I love the Pulp Fiction reference. I've never seen this piece before.
Yeah, I found this a little while ago.
Yeah. Pulp Fiction Sweetie Belle. It's a pretty old one, but it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Never seen it before. I like it. Fucking, it's the dead Pegasus in my garage, which also.
I buy the gourmet stuff when Apple Bloom goes to. She buys the shit, which sounds very Apple family. Like they just buy whatever the giant bulk coffee would be. It's like, all right, get up at 3 a.m. and start bucking apples. I don't want to, Applejack. Stop it. So, oh my god.
Which that does kind of make sense, that Earth Ponies are very utilitarian, whereas the unicorn would be kind of a ponce.
Can we talk, speaking of writing and continuity, I kind of want, like, I don't know, season 8 or 9 or whatever, like Big Mac and Sugar Belle, they're all hooked up now. I want them to have a pair child. I want to see that come through somehow. Basketball out. Because, I mean,
yes,
that was a good plot twist. It's like, oh, you're part pair. What? But it's like, okay, well, now we got plot potential.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. The part pair part, that was that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I liked. I forget what storyteller was saying it. Where it was like, the pear jar. If you didn't know it was a pear, it looked like it could be apple butter. You never know.
I thought they were dead.
Yes, they're all dead. Thank you.
They're very, very dead.
Oh God!
It was not something that I expected.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Oh, to confirm, it
What's
was actually
that about me
weird
turning
that
up a beer time?
I have an idea. Can we kill Rarity's parents and Fluttershy's parents and bring back Applejacks? That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, for a trade.
They
Especially-
never actually explained what happened to her parents. It was just a case of, oh look, they got married. They caused a feud between the families. They planted 2 tree seeds, and then that's it. The fuck happened to them? Did they turn into said trees or
No,
what?
no. We don't know exactly what happened, but we know that they're dead.
I like
because
one comment was like, they should be getting out of Tartarus in 10 more years.
Because they
I have an idea for it. They got killed in a drive-by shooting.
Oh my gosh.
I think
Cars are
it's
good
very-
in Canada Equestria, only in Fallout, but still.
They died inventing the gun.
It's very clear though that they died that they died in an accident.
Yeah.
If you look at how protective Applejack is, so I was watching that one episode where Applejack's regularly on Sweetie Belle's case. Like you get to see a little glimpse into their life as to how overprotective AJ is. I was watching it with my mother, and my mother, with knowing not too much backstory about the show, is kind of like, okay, their parents definitely died in an accident.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that is one. She didn't even know that the parents weren't in the picture. She didn't even know that the parents weren't in the show. It was just, oh, okay, cool. Parents are probably dead. Parents probably died in an accident. So,
well, I like how carefully they tread in the episode, especially the way they put it together, because it's like, if you were the dad, the pair dad or grandfather, whatever, like, how traumatizing is it that you leave your family behind, your daughter, apparently his only daughter, I don't know, I didn't see anyone else in the freaking episode, and then she dies, and then you come back. It's like, well, shoot, kind of missed like a good 10 years of the end of your life. That would be horrifying. And you outlive your child. Like, that's a lot of like dark story that they really paved over really quickly with, it's in the past. It's not in the past. It's going to haunt his
No, that
dreams.
must have been haunting him.
Holy... I mean, who sent the letter? Does Granny, like, send a postcard? Like, hey, by the way... it's been a while since we chatted, but just telegram. Like, does Derpy deliver that? Like, what's the face that we're getting here?
But I'm actually not sure how they definitely skipped over that part.
I mean, I was thinking of, like, I don't know. I immediately thought, what if I was him? Like, I don't know if I could return. Like, obviously he waited a while to return anyway, but that's, like, so traumatizing. It's like, holy cow.
I'd be curious to see what like, they've kind of dropped enough hints for us to be able to figure out most of it. But what I'm kind of curious about is how long it's been since the parents died.
Yeah, because it's essentially limited by Apple Bloom's age.
Yeah.
And obviously she didn't die in childbirth, or otherwise it's like, why is the dad dead too? So it's like, whatever Applejack is, or Apple Bloom is, minus whatever, a year, something.
So, like, 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah. So, and you've got to wonder with Big Mac too, because he actually would remember them. He would have spent a little bit of time with them, and his two baby sisters. So it's like that. Maybe that's why he's quiet. Like it still bothers him, and that's why Granny's mean and ornery. Besides being old,
exactly. She's old.
I have to say though, I like the young Granny Smith in this episode more so than the Thunder Jam or whatever it was episode.
Yeah,
I like her hairstyle in this better, and she was much feistier.
Well, her hairstyle.
Am I the only one who thinks young Granny Smith is really cute?
She is adorable. Oh, all of them were adorable. Holy cow! I want like pear butter. We can't have one episode. We need more flashbacks.
Also, because another reason to see more flashbacks, I'd like to see more of Felicia Day and William Shatner, which also...
Yes.
You're right, that was William Shatner.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
That's never something I thought I'd ever say in my life, was I want to see more of Shatner. He did a really good job.
Oh my god, Shatner is the best.
He gave a genuinely strong performance. And it was like, but... No!
But you're William Shatner. That's not meant to happen.
No! Where's all the pauses that he's so famous for and the overacting?
To be fair, the original Star Trek series was in the 60s. 60s television. I mean, that was kind of the staple of the era.
I don't know why, but I thought you were going to say, where's all the porn at?
Oh my gosh. That's a whole nother
There's
section
porn?
of Derpy Borough.
There's porn? Where?
We don't have any here.
Damn it! I was lied to by Vermont.
Of course, now that we've got past the Apple parents, when are we going to get to the real mystery? Rarity.
Oh, I know. I mean, how does Rarity come from them? That's
yes.
like,
how does... If Sweetie Belle has a normal accent and her parents have a Minnesotan accent, how does Rarity have a transatlantic British accent?
Adopted.
Oh, she's definitely faking it.
I'm going to guess they moved, or like she watched some, like, she got the magazines, like Applejack. It's like she goes to Manhattan and then she's all cultured. So it's like maybe they went on vacation one day and immediately she's like, oh, I want to be dress horse, and yeah, everything grew out of that.
My headcanon, based on what little we've seen of her parents, is that maybe they're travel writers or photographers, and they used to travel all around the world and took Rarity with them. But then when Sweetie Belle was born, they decided they needed to settle down, so Sweetie Belle grew up with a normal accent.
In Ponyville.
I
like that. That's good.
I figure... I kind of figure that Rarity isn't even her real name. I think she's faked everything.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Oh God.
Like her real name is something else, and she's like, Sweetie Belle, you promised never to tell.
Excuse me while I take notes.
The accent is fake, the mane is fake, the color is fake, and...
Oh, could you imagine what Tabitha would do with an episode like that? That would be amazing.
It would.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Rarity with a bright pink coat.
That, though, like a My Fair Lady type situation, maybe.
My Fair Horsey?
Yes, exactly. My Fair Horsey. I mean,
Personally, I think her accent is more suited to punk rarity.
Oh, I haven't seen that episode yet either, but I've seen the artwork just splurge all over Facebook.
Yes.
So now I need to see that.
Her accent fits that look more than her normal one.
The
I think
accent,
it
yeah, the
actually looks
friggin'
good with the shiny mane, which makes it look better than what it actually does.
the artwork is everywhere. And we've had some we've had some great artwork of that appear in Stitch's Booty Barn.
Oh my gosh. I haven't even checked that since we talked about it last week.
It's still going strong.
Oh my god.
It's one of the most fantastic channels. So, for the record, for anyone here who's still considering becoming a patron,
Oh my gosh.
on our one of our Patreon options,
Who's it
which
for?
is
Oh,
What?
for you. Right, okay.
what?
I think she's talking to a customer.
We're having a full conversation in the background.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Okay, just checking. So,
She's going insane. She's talking to herself.
as we've said in the past, for $1 a month, you get access to the EAST Corp Discord, which features the lounge chat, a feedback room for writers, a D&D and role-playing chat, and of course, Stitch's Booty Barn.
Oh wait, the writer's room is for everyone?
Yes, it's for anyone to ask for writing feedback.
Oh, let me just throw some porn in there.
Oh no.
No, you cannot put
I'm
porn-
kidding, I'm kidding.
You cannot put porn in the writer's room.
I actually have a SFW story, so...
Oh, nice. Which
Shock.
also, I figure if you're interested in getting feedback from pretty much any of us on whatever stories you're writing, $1 a month, that's not bad.
Oh shoot,
That's
I
not
need to
bad.
pay attention to that more. I didn't know that was a thing.
So,
Yeah, well, Skype doesn't use Discord.
I'm very, yeah. You can just ask me too. That's fine. Just send me a DM. Be like, I'm patrons.
Nah, I far prefer being passive aggressive on the podcast.
yeah, so Vermont's review service is really cheap then, $1 a month.
I did that. I do now see Skybolt's name popping up as online in the Discord server.
Oh, good lord. Quick,
Maybe
hide.
go
Hide the booty barn.
hide the booty bar.
I don't think we can hide it from him because he's an admin.
I mean, I could always just.
I'm like the distant admin that pops up every once in a while and sees what the hell you guys are doing with the place.
You're the one that calls into firing squad when it's needed.
Oh no, I'm like the what is it? Like the
Fuck
like
police.
when a company shakes up their inventory and so they bring in a new CEO to like fire a bunch of people.
God.
That's
Yes.
what we're talking about.
All right, yeah. Vermont's the thought police. I forgot.
What am I? The thought police.
Yes.
THOT.
Why? Why for am I the thought police?
You got to keep.
I
your
don't
thoughts
know, it
aligned.
fits you.
They get too feisty.
It doesn't make me the thought police just because I stop you from posting porn all over the chat.
Got to keep.
Wait,
your
did I
thoughts
mute
aligned.
my mic?
No, you did not. Oh God, you did not mute your mic.
I thought I
We've
muted
heard
my
every
mic.
word. We've heard every
yeah.
word of the station who will use it to blackmail you.
Yeah, Skype can be really finicky on mobile for that.
Why are you going to blackmail me? I served a customer for Gaviscon because they had stomach pains. How are you going to use that against me as blackmail? Come on, enlighten me on this.
Wait,
okay?
what about stomach pains?
They had indigestion or some shit, so I sold them some Gaviscon.
Oh my gosh.
So
Are you
Vermont,
work?
yes, she is. She's
What
said,
is your job exactly? Are you like a pharmacist?
No, I work in a goddamn corner shop that just happens to sell medication.
Okay, so she's a drug dealer.
So you're prescribing medication without a license. There.
I think
I thought you had to go to
it's
Amsterdam to do that.
Which you just admitted to the 300 odd people who watch this podcast.
We have 300 people.
Wait,
No,
what?
not at once. We have 18 people watching at the moment, but
You will have eventually confessed.
300 is kind of like our average, or at least it has been. We've had a few that haven't done quite as well, which I'm pretty sure I blame me not being there for it.
Nice.
Had there been Vermont, it would have got much better views.
Yes, because the podcast you led went so well.
Hey, the podcast I led went amazingly. # Zebra Deck Chronicles.
Honestly, the one needled it were a lot more awesome.
This is what I sit next to. This is how much restraint I fucking need for this job.
Oh my god.
So, yeah,
It's a shelf full of hard liquor.
A lot of alcohol.
Oh, that's not all. I have sherries.
Sherries?
Fuck off.
Do you
Brandy.
have any?
Scotch. Got any what?
Do you have Baileys?
Yes.
Pretty much any form of Irish cream, actually.
We got Tia Maria.
They've only got about
Bailey,
20% of the Irish cream, actually.
Oh god.
yeah,
Bailey's is a viable alternative to milk.
Right. What about your cereal?
I need more. I need more rum. I am not drunk enough for this podcast.
I've got love.
What rum are you drinking?
The really cheap one that you can mix with Coke without feeling terrible about it.
Yeah, like you didn't waste it.
Well,
Yeah.
Overproof rum at 63%. How
Also-
does that sound?
Also, a liter bottle is like €10 because it was priced off.
You can get a 35cl bottle of this shit for 15 quid, which is roughly around $18.
God, that's expensive.
Where does the
This
term
is
quid come from? Like, I've always been curious about where that comes from.
Oh. Damn it, I recently read about that and I forgot.
if I were to guess, it probably has something to do with quid pro quo.
Yes.
You owe me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's just my guess.
So it's just a guess. What's the point of having British people who don't know the British things?
Yeah, what happened to Kelly? Kelly, chime in.
Oh, sorry, I might be No, I've just been searching for that rarity episode or whatever, and then like all the links were dead, so
Oh
I've
my
just been
gosh.
searching Google.
Yeah, that's
You've been
the eternal
silent for
problem.
like an hour.
I thought he
I'm also hungry.
Go to EA Ponies. They have most of the episodes.
They also have the comics.
We just need more Kelly and Oakart episodes in general.
Yes, we do.
That's what's been missing from the podcast. I remember our 4 Stable Talk podcasts where it was just me, Vermont, and Kelly. Those were golden days. I miss those days.
That was the start of EAST Corp. That was.
Born and
I
fired.
really want to do. I really want to go and do a re-upload to the EAST Corp channel of some old Stable Talk episodes, just for shits and giggles.
We could re-upload those 4. I downloaded the MP3s after a painstaking like I never got source files or anything. I just downloaded them from whatever was posted up there. I still want to know if there's audio of that one episode where I complained about Suicide Squad for an hour and a half. That was a great episode.
Yes.
That's the lost
No.
episode.
Unfortunately, I lost I lost the audio for that one, so that's my bad.
God, that was so fun.
That's why we do the live stream now, because when you do it as a live stream, you can't lose it.
Yeah, it autosaves. I do like that the most about this.
But the I do kind of find it kind of funny because the Stable Talk podcast, the revitalized version, is essentially how EAST Corp was born. What the first episode was Skybolt, Waveform, Kim, and myself. Then episode 2, Skybolt, Kelly, myself. Episode 3, Skybolt, Kelly, myself.
I think the very first one was actually about what was it? The Terminal Secrets 1, right? We had had Pink Pippin on and everything.
It was directly after episode 1, yeah.
I still got this on.
which was how it got revived. And then we didn't do one for a while, I think, actually. I don't think it was a weekly thing at the time. I think it was like once every 2-3 weeks that we were doing it. Although, to be fair, the Breakroom was only meant to happen once every 2 weeks, and then it just sort of kept on happening.
It was just like whenever we wanted to, essentially. That's how I started. It was like, it's a great way to get like, get our emotions out there and resolved, so we didn't freaking put a hole in respective walls.
I kind of imagine that if we were all in a physical studio together, we would need a punching wall.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
Right?
Well, was that a derpy with a nuke behind her?
Yeah, that's various funny things I dropped in here over time.
Hey, it's the Trixie and Starlight picture I really like.
I really like this too.
I really like that one too. I think that's the best humanized pony I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I love Raccoon Coon stuff. He does great.
Same. That's just the face of Trixie. I'm going to fucking murder you in a moment.
Wow, close up of Mr. House.
Yeah, I love this picture too.
Yeah.
Steve Crow, Mr. House. There we go.
Brief flashes of
everything.
Yeah, I forgot to label the last like 12.
Yeah, you really are going through all of them.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I mean, OBS is kind of a bitch to use.
You get used to it.
I mean, it was fun the first time I used it in the Vermont-led podcast, of which there should be more.
No. We need more Neil-led podcasts.
I'm happy to take the back seat, that's for sure. Those were good days.
Because Neil-moderated podcasts are actually podcasts.
Your butts are
What does that mean?
Needle-moderated podcast had Somber.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, Somber was supposed to be here this week too, and it's because
should I just go poke him with a sharp object?
Device sharp object, because I could.
Yeah, I bet if I led a podcast that we got frickin' Todd Howard, K-Cat on for the first time, that would be a great podcast too, right?
Yes.
We should get.
It's not the. I wasn't comparing it to your podcast, Guy. I was comparing it to the Vermont Insanity.
Sure. Hey, my podcast had a butt rating contest.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes, in fairness, it was a lot of fun.
It also cemented Smut Horse as being a thing.
Exactly. Smut Horse is a thing now, thanks to me.
So I might be a bit biased against you.
Vermont and Vermont is a thing thanks to me.
Yes. I'm
Yes,
happy to give you credit.
Creative force behind that.
Yeah, I made that thing, and I'm quite proud of that thing. Do you still have the webmate version I gave you?
Yeah, it's in here somewhere.
Along with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw a brief flash of Fembolt a few seconds ago.
Yep.
Yep, because I was drawing EAST Corp.
Alright, now, I reckon you guys can probably continue on without me or do whatever, but it is now 9:30, and we are 2.5 hours into this podcast, and I think it's time that Vermont should go to bed.
Yeah, I'm about ready for lunch soon myself.
I'm going to get back to work.
Scratchy has been awake since 5 a.m.
Scratchy should go to sleep.
Yes, Scratchy should sleep.
Okay. Well, we definitely need to do this at a time that is ideal for Kelly and Oakard as well. We will build the podcast back up to the way they were, old glory.
If I
Glory, just glorious. It's yelling and,
So
and
you're saying
anger
is
and
that
salt.
the podcast needs to add digital glory holes.
Oh God, no!
Oh
We
my
can do
god. Wow.
Hashtag
Oh,
digital
that's
glory holes.
right.
Vermont.
It is Elkhart, you hear. God damn it.
I think that's
Vermont.
a good. Yeah.
Is the next thing you're going to ask for an underdesk technician?
No, that's a joke that's going to come later.
What are you going to say now?
Nothing.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good place to end off of the podcast.
Alrighty. So thank you everyone for joining us. We were glad we were able to get this group together anyway to talk about Terminal Secrets and stuff.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
Wait, we were talking about Terminal Secrets.
We were at one point, long time ago.
Mm.
We were fangasming over Mint.
Oh, right.
That's very true.
I'm impressed that we managed to stay on the topic of Terminal Secrets for like an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah, no
Normally
kidding.
we don't hold on to a single topic for that long. Normally,
All you have to do is steer away from Samurai Jack.
Yes.
just wait until the Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah, that's
Oh
great.
God.
I need to redraw that. Like, seriously, need to redraw that.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone. We will talk to you later.
See you then.
Bye.